Hi everyone, this is Cyber here. I'm here today to bring you a new video. This video is about VHS. It's a new 4 vs 1 asymmetrical action tribute to the 80s horror, where small town teens face off against terrifying monsters brought to life from the aisles of their local video store. VHS will be released on their own launcher as well as Steam and Epic. VHS will also be free to play, and as new maps are released, they will be available to everyone free of charge. You'll be able to purchase new playable characters via currency earned in-game or through premium currency if you want to take a shortcut. Like you only play several so often, you just don't have the time to put in effort like that, which is understandable. Sometimes people can't. They also will have a cosmetic store. There are not, nor will there ever be, anything that grants players the definite gameplay advantages for sale in their store, which is great. No advantages, it's just all cosmetic, which is fine. VHS will only be on PC, however, counselors are something they're looking into supporting down the road. What is going to be included in the game at launch? 5 teens, 3 monsters, and 3 maps. They will have more. Who knows what they have planned so far? We don't even know how the game plays. Well, we know how the game looks and how the game plays. I probably have it playing in the background, that kind of stuff. How do perks work? As you play characters, you level them up through their journey skill tree, and along the way, you'll unlock perks which are usable on any character once you complete their act of the journey. Each character has 3 perks, each with 3 tiers. The perks get more powerful, but also cost more as you climb up at max level. You can get 5 perk slots, 30 perks points to spend, so you need to make decisions on which perks, strengths, and selections to shape your build. So if you're one that's more aggressive, or you run away, or how it's based on how you play, you want to use your perks for the teams. Or in monsters, because monsters have perks too. How do weapons work? Around each map, there are 8 craftable stations, 2 for each stigma. Each stigma, shop, burnt, purified, and curse, has a handful of weapons associated with them for use in battle against the monsters. Hitting a monster enough in the brief period with a particular weapon will banish it, making the monster disappear temporarily and completing that stigma. Using the same stigma simulates times will stun the monster, rather than banish them again. So you want to make sure you're going to different stations to get each stigma. You have to hit all stigmas to win the game, which we will talk about in a little bit. How do teams win? The teams win by hitting the monster with a weapon of each of the 4 stigmas. So once you do all 4, the game's over. The monster is banished permanently. How does the monster win? The monster wins by incapacitating the teens. What is feasting? Feasting is the tool monsters have to build rage. After they knock down a teen, they can feast on the teen and gain rage at a much faster rate than normal. However, while they do so, their position is revealed to other teens, and their camera is locked point down towards the ground, leaving them in a very vulnerable position. So, it's a risk versus reward kind of scenario. Do you want to get your rage back up? Which rage is very powerful. We will talk about that in just a second. What is rage? Rage is resources that all monsters have. Rage is gained by striking healthy teens, feasting, passing over time. Once the rage bar is full, the monster's net hit will down a team from a healthy state without them needing to be injured first. Rage is lost whenever a monster is banished, stunned, or knocked down a team. And let's get into talking about the teens and monsters now. Alright, let's start with the teens. This is Brett. He's 17 years old. His potential is champion. He's born for greatness, built to protect, ready to win. You are the champion of your own destiny. Natural strength and confidence fuel him. Champion focus on resistance, damage, and effects of injury. This is Faith. She is 14 years old, and her potential is a healer. Born affinity, gently, and caring. Your heart is a powerful asset from healing a friend to healing a nation You know the true love conquers all. Healing perks focus on staying healthy and keeping your friends alive. This is Gloria. She is 16 years old. She is a leader potential. Motivation, charismatic. You inspire any teen to greatness. Your passion is uplifted as you work to make the world a better place. Leader perks focus on locating and assisting your squad and escaping dangerous situations. This is Jess. She is 16 years old. Her potential is Assassin, a shadow on the fringe of personality. Your power lies in wait, shrouded in secret, silence, and high tune. And tunage are your weapons of choice. Perks focus on remaining undetected by the monster. And this is Leo. He is the oldest teen at the age of 18. His potential is Rebel. You were born to start a revolution at first, quick to find advantages in the moment, no matter the situation. Rebel perks focus on finding effective use in pickups and other helpful items. Let's move on to the monsters. Alright, with every monster, there comes a map. So, let's start with Wolfman. The Wolfman has the high school, or how high, as they call it. Some of his perks are he can howl, which puts out a echo of like makes them get stunned, and then he can also hunt, which is puts out where he can see where you last were about, and yeah. Then the next one is Wart. Wart is a weird creature. He is in a science, I think it's a science lab, is the map for him, and he has several different species in him. He has bat with echolocation, where he can find where you can put an echo out and know where you last been, kind of like the werewolves hunt, but it's a little bit different. And then he also can shield up with its exoskeleton, I think that it is, like the scales from like a fish or a reptile. So he has all these different kinds of species. He has a couple more perks. I don't know them all off the top of my head. I'm going off what info I have. And then the last one is Dollmaster or Doll Maker. His map is a old mansion or old hotel. What his perk is, he can spit up or control toys, dolls, pretty much. Kind of like if you ever played Dead by Daylight, the twins. You throw your twin out and you control that. That's kind of what he does. Except he spits it up and he controls it. And they're like little ankle biters that get on your nerves. And then he controls them from a distance. And yeah, they didn't talk too much about all his perks. That's the only one I've heard about of that. But I think that's very cool that they're putting out maps for each monster. And I think that leaves the maps open to big potentials. There could be anything. There could be lots of choices. We could get a camp. We could get a town. We could get several different maps. I think this is going to be really cool. But without further ado, let's get into what the gameplay is like and how it does it play. Alright guys, let's talk about some of the gameplay features or things that you might not have noticed if you watched any gameplay. So you can heal each other. Probably most people notice that. You can also heal yourself by finding health kits in and around the map. It does take time. You can team up and heal someone faster. There's a little mini game to keep it a meter in between an area to heal the thing. I guess you can mess up and stuff. There's also like quick time events when you build items and stuff. If you mess up, there are perks that keeps the sound like just a little fart. Or if you don't have the perk, it will alert and he will see where you were. You want to get out of there. The other thing is, if you do go down, you can get picked back up by your teammates, or you can actually bring yourself back out of the spiritual world. There's a spiritual world you can go collect these glowing things, and that can bring you back to where you can crawl around and actually get picked back up again. There is points where you can completely be out of the game. You can't be brought back. I don't know how many times it is. I'm gonna guess like 2 or 3 times maybe. I watched gameplay, but I don't have an accurate number. The other thing is they have voice chat in there, which is good. Or you can play through Discord probably. The voice chat actually sounds pretty decently. Voice communication is going to be key in this game, but you can play without voice. Like, if you don't feel like being on mic that day, there is ways to say, hey, I'm here, or the killer is here. You can put pings and stuff. So there's ways to play without talking, without communication. If you're playing with randoms and stuff, you might not want to talk to random people. But your friends, you might feel a little more comfortable, which I think is good that you can play without communicating, which I think communicating is going to make the game a little easier for you. But yeah, communicating is going to be huge in this game. It's key. You can see, like, when you look at the character, it will say where they are, and maybe you can meet up and say, hey, I need healing, maybe, or something like that. There's a lot going on in this game. Alright, so there are, as I've seen gameplay, these matches can go, oh, we're getting our butt whooped as teens, oh my god, we're going to lose, and then bam, all of a sudden, you got your whole team back, they're all down, because you landed the killing blow to badass shit, and gives you time to get each other up and going, and you're back in the game. Same thing can happen with the monster. Monster could be like, oh dang, I got hit twice already. Bam, you took out 2 of them. 2 are dead. They can't come back. You're back on square one with them. Like, it can go back and forth. As I see from this gameplay, I see that it could go back and forth real quick. It could be back and forth really quick, like I said. The other thing is, there are, like, some silly taunts, like throwing a basketball, like you're shooting a hoop, a whole bunch of different taunts. They want to keep this fun and get appealing to a little bit of the young crowd, because there's not really no blood or gore really in this game. There is a little, like, throw up and that kind of stuff. If that bothers you, that's fine. They're trying to appeal to everyone, which I understand. They want to appeal to young kids to be able to play what their parents are playing, or some of their older friends are playing, and their parents are going, no, that's too violent. There's no blood or guts. So they're trying to appeal to kids, kind of like Fortnite a little bit, with the taunts and stuff, dances, this kind of stuff, which is fine. As long as it doesn't ruin the game, I think that's fine. If you want to get taunts and stuff, I'm not there to taunt. I'm there to I'm mostly going to play monsters, like I said. So yeah, I'm not. If I see you taunting, I'm gonna make sure I take you down. But let's let the devs answer some of the more popular questions I have. I'm gonna pop them up from the one stream they did to answer some of the more popular questions, and they can describe it a little bit better.
And I see some people have been wondering, could you describe how the party queuing system works?
Kenzo? Describe the party queuing system.
Like the party system?
This is from Rosters.
Rosters? Oh.
Ross, get out of
here. Ross is one of our programmers here.
Yeah.
Apparently doesn't know how the game works. That's good on your resume there, Ross. Yeah, the party queuing system. You can actually queue in the game randomly just by connecting to to the servers and just saying I want to play as a teen or play as a monster. And once it finds 5 players that suit that game, it'll throw you into a game. But if you want to play with your friends, you can actually party up with 1, 2, 3, 4. You can have like 4 players together and party up. Yep. Right now, you can't party up with 5 people because the monster is a separate entity. So you can't have the monster be part of your group, so you can't game the game. But we'll probably add a mode for that so you can play on streams and stuff like that. And have friends, not have to play with your buddies and not have to play with anyone in the real world.
What would they say makes this game stand out from other 4v1 games?
Nothing. We're exactly like all the
yeah.
other. No.
Can I grab
mean,
that?
Chris,
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go for it.
So personally, like I've played a lot of other 4v1 games, and in the office we play 4v1 games together and stuff. And the one thing that personally I'm really excited about with this, and the thing that sets it apart for me when I'm playing other games that are 4v1, I'm just wishing I was playing this our game, because there's this dynamic shift that happens in the match, and I think you probably saw it when we were playing there with Vanguard. At the beginning of the match, the evil starts out very powerful and strong because the teens have no weapons. They're just running and hiding, sort of thing. But then the teens have the opportunity to build weapons, and then when they have weapons, they have the upper hand. And then it's up to the monster, the evil at that point, to sort of whittle down their resources and shift the scales back down again. And they have lots of opportunities and abilities and tools to be able to shift those balances both ways. And so that dynamic back and forth makes it so that it's never uninteresting. It's always engaging, because there's always opportunities to do things better or to improve, and to really push it forward. I mean, Chris had mentioned this earlier. We play the game literally every day that we're at work, right? And I've been
Everyone in the
like I
company
said,
plays. Yeah, everyone plays as much as they could. We have to actually limit the people. So people will still spare for people who can't make a game for some reason. We have a call out sheet every day for our daily games, and it's like, oh, I didn't make the sheet today.
Yeah. I mean, I've been here for 3.5 years, and I've played it every single game, every single day. Put in like thousands of hours into it, and I'm still not bored of it, which is surprising because that doesn't happen to me usually with most games. So
there's just something about how every single round is unique. I have never played 2 rounds and felt they've been even close to being the same. It's, you never know what kind of strategy you're gonna have to build on the fly because there's so many things you can do and so many things to expect. It's crazy.
Yeah, to me, I think the big difference between us and other games, and I've played, like Kenzo said, we play every game. If it says asymmetric, we're like, oh, we're going to play that game. We give them all a good shake. And I honestly, I think I love a lot of the other games out there. But the big things, like I grew up years ago playing like Left 4 Dead, so much Left 4 Dead. And that we took a lot of inspiration early from that. We have a soda pop can that gives you like an adrenaline rush. We have a chocolate bar, which gives you some health back, like the pills and stuff. And I still think of like Bill saying pills here every time I see a chocolate bar in the match. We did borrow some DNA from that, and we played a lot of Evolve, and I think it came out of Left 4 Dead's multiplayer when someone turned into the tank and they're that monster, and you're playing like against, and everyone just like, it was just the best thing in the world. And that's why they made Evolve, clearly, and I loved playing Evolve. I thought it was so fantastic, but there's just not a game like that. And there's no fight to the death style games. Everyone's going the escape mechanic, which I love. It's cool. It's a very fun loop, but ours, I think it plays different because we're not going to a door. We're not trying to get out of a level. We're not trying to do that same mechanic every time. The fight goes like all through the map until it ends. Like you can't escape the level to avoid the monster and leave. You've got to confront it or die. Either way, the game only ends when you confront the monster face to face. Like it can't happen. I mean, I guess you could hide in the corner and your other 3 friends could kill the monster. Tech's always in a locker somewhere. But,
okay, I'm not always in a locker.
Well,
Okay.
I look at the little icons on the side and I see you in a locker.
Yeah, I do hide in lockers.
Sometimes you're just dead.
I'm going to look in a locker and then, Tech's already in the locker.
That is amazing. Whenever I'm like hiding in a locker and I think I'm being so sneaky, and literally like Chris or Kenzo will come along and open up the locker and see me in there. I'm like, yeah, I was hiding in the locker. They're always like, what are you doing in the locker? I was like, I was scared.
He was near me, I swear. He was near me. That mechanic, it makes, like with Vanguard saying with that, it never feels the same. It to me, I mean, we played the high school map only for a couple of years before we had other maps, and it never felt tired to me. And that's how I knew we had something. It felt so different every time.
Yeah. One thing that that I really noticed when I started playing, I hadn't experienced a whole bunch of the game. I was like, this is a lot like Evolve, right? It's got that kind of fighting mechanic, and wow, it is so very different from Evolve in this unique way, in that kind of like what Kenzo was saying, there's this like power shift, right? From where you go from being weak and you need to play defensively to being strong and you can play aggressively, to being weak and you need to play defensively. Both sides, like no matter which side you're on, there's this constant shift of the battle, trying to capitalize when you can be aggressive and trying to not lose when you need to play defensive. I loved that so much, and I think that's what I don't know, maybe it's like an adrenaline junkie thing, because you're kind of always looking to push the envelope when you need to be aggressive, right? Like when you need to be aggressive, you're not just on cruise control.
We have these like shitty weapons. Let's put it that way. We build shitty weapons. Like you go around and you craft a weapon that lasts for 10 seconds, and you've got to try to catch the monster with that weapon. The most powerful and fun moments in the game are when you and 2 other teammates all have weapons and you go rushing in to get the monster. Yeah. And then you waste all those weapons all over top of each other and make mistakes, and then instantly the monster's got all the power and chases you back. Yeah. Those switches happen so fast and so dynamically, and it's so fun because you're like we had a game the other day we played, and there were probably, I was watching it, I wasn't playing it, and I love watching our game because it is really entertaining every time. And they had so many strategies. They were like, oh, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. They kept talking, and they failed every single one through the whole match. And it was so much fun watching them try to pull off these complex. Kenzo still has his plan with a couple perks linked together where he can do some amazing stuff I've never seen him pull off. He's been trying to do it for 2 years now.
Has anyone done it? I don't think anyone's
done it because no one dreams as big as you do, Kenzo.
It's true.
Yeah.
True. Someone had asked, is the balance going to be more towards single queue players or full teams? And we explicitly decided to make the game playable at the highest level of play possible, right? So a full team communicating all the time with really good communication should still be able to fight sort of on a level playing field with a good evil. And the idea was that was sort of where our balance was going to be focused to some extent. And so all of that ping system and all of those icons and all that information that you're getting as a single solo queue player is going to hopefully, and we've done lots of tests through this, so it's going to let you play with your team even if you're not communicating with them, right? So we've kind of
play off of the team anyway.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
either you're playing with them or you understand where they are and what they're doing. You get more information even if you're not willing to engage in that.
Exactly. There's also perks in the game and stuff that allow you to see teams when certain things happen, like if they get hit or something like that. You can see them for a few seconds or something like that. So it allows you to you can build like solo queue builds that allow you to play with other people without them communicating as if they were communicating to you.
And I communicate all the time, but that's my style of build. I build one where I can see when teens get injured. I can see the Gloria character. She has the ability to see like when teens are around her. So at the start of a match, I can see where teens are. It often gives me a heads up if there's a monster near me or not. So, I mean, those types of ones where you get vision of where other people are really help my style of game. So I can respond quickly if someone needs help. I don't have to guess. They don't have to shout at me that they're in the gym because the gym's a pretty big room in the high school. I can actually see them for some. If they get hit, I can follow where they're coming toward me and maybe intercept the monster with a weapon.
Yeah, and another thing, like I do like the amount of information you can get at a glance, because when you look over at your teammates, you can see their location name, you can see actions they're taking, you can see items they have, you can see their health states. You can see so much without them needing to say a single thing, which is really, really, really nice. And then the pings on top of that, it's just, there is a huge amount of information you can get without chatting. I love, especially when I'm playing with people that I know, to chat with you guys, because I find that to be super fun. But man, the amount of information you can get with just purely visual is really nice. There was a
We're interested in seeing how you guys do as streamers with that. Like if you want to just mute the teammates or if you play with the stream like full talking. I don't know how it'll play for you guys. So it's interesting to see, but we did try to develop it with ways that you can play without talking.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think like you guys mentioned, you can genuinely tailor your play style however you're feeling for that day.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, Vanguard when he plays as a teen uses an ability that's whenever he fails a station next to you, it doesn't alert always. It's got a percentage chance it doesn't. And he's crafting next to me, and I hear this little fart of a fail. It doesn't warn the monster, because when you fail, it does show the monster where you are. And I'm like, oh, you're running that perk. Thanks, Vanguard.
Yeah, because for the life of me, I just can't land a single check.
I know.
It's just,
It's crazy.
I had like 7 matches in a row where I didn't get a single check. Like,
I know. I remember we were playing on a Friday, and I'm crafting at the same station that Vanguard is, and I hear him fail, and we're just both silent for a minute. Then Vanguard just says, I haven't hit a single check all week.
makes it sound like the it doesn't work very well in the game, but it does work. So I never fail. So
I know, yeah.
well, it's all me. It's absolutely all me. There's no hiding that part.
I do fail when it's tense and something's around. That's usually when the monster's close. I usually fail then. That's my favorite go-to.
No, I rarely fail. I think I checked my stats. I have 100% success rate. It's really impressive.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we'll double check. We'll double check that that's working correctly.
Yeah, I think we have stats to back that up.
Yeah.
Hellbent Zoe has asked, can you tell us more about the progression system?
Hellbent Zoe, who wrote all of the stories for the progression system. Yes, we can. We can tell you more about the system you worked on a lot. Yeah, we have like some other games have progression systems where you can advance your characters. We have everything in our game is tied to the video store and the theming behind that. So we have a system where you go in, you can rent movies, and the movies allow you to do challenges in the matches, and they as you finish them, you complete them, you get lots of cool rewards, unlocks, and costumes and things like that. You can grind for those ones. You don't have to pay anything for that. That's movies. And you can always have a movie that's unlocking. If you finish the first movie, you get the extended cut and you get the director's cut. You get these other versions of the movie which add more challenges. And some of them are really challenging, and some of them are pretty straightforward, like survive a match. And then other ones are like a laundry list of little things you have to do to get through it. And those just add a lot of fun to the day-to-day playing of the game. So you have little things you can do. Like, I mean, I know we built the system, but I love finishing movies and getting through the system. It takes like 30 or 40 hours to finish like one movie on there. And I've done it for a couple characters, like naturally on the internal builds and on the friends build we have going. And it's a super fun system. And I really like that, because if I want to play it, I hope other people want to play it. We also have a progression system you go through where it's a journey. You go through this journey and you can unlock different nodes as you go along. And you unlock all types of different things in there. You get like perk points, so you can assign more perks on your thing. You can unlock more perk slots. You can, and we kind of have a class system in our game. We don't really have a class system, but each character has an affinity towards a certain style of play, and they can do perks they get a discount, some discounts on those perks that are their affinity. So that allows, like, say, Gloria, she's like a team rah-rah leader type character. She gets like, her perks, she can get the discount on perk costs, so she can run her perks cheaper, which she can still run the other team's perks and unlock other team's perks and use those as well. But she gets a break on hers, which gives her a stronger ability for that character. And then like that's all tied to narrative and lore, so it's very cool.
Yeah. Now
I'm selling my team under the.
So this is an interesting kind of pair of questions. They're both related.
Are they from our team? Or are they from real people?
These are not from the team.
Okay. From our team.
So I'll say both questions, and you can kind of talk about them in tandem. The first one was, can you talk about character customization? And the second one is it possible to earn skins through grinding in the game instead of paying?
Character customization
sounds perfect for you.
Yeah, so character customization is something we've focused heavily on for a really long time. Gone through many different systems and worked really hard to get all of these things fitting together. We have like 10. How many slots do we have? I don't want to say too many. We have a lot of slots that you can equip.
Yeah,
different
something around 10.
There's
a lot of slots. Yeah.
Shirts, jackets, pants, shoes, socks, glasses, hair things, face things, hand things, and also like full costumes on top of that as well. So there's a ton of content coming out for that stuff, and some of that content you unlock. This kind of ties into the other thing as well, the grinding. So you can grind through the movies, like Chris was saying before, to unlock additional content, and all of that content is only unlockable through the grinding. You can't purchase that content elsewhere. So play through the journey, you unlock like character-specific cosmetics that relate to those characters' stories, and sort of help flesh those characters out. And then you unlock their movie cosmetics as well, which relate to like their favorite movies and stuff. So they get specialized costumes for those.
Each
But all of
character,
all of that stuff is grindable in the game through gameplay.
And the other thing they get is when they finish a movie or they go through the journey, they're unlocking certain points where they get the grindable currency in the game, which we call flux, and that currency can be used to purchase things in the store. Not everything in the store. Some things in the store do require using fan bucks, which is a real dollar values in the store, but most things are grindable. Like a lot of things are grindable anywhere in there. So you can definitely get a lot of content without spending $1 in our game. Please spend $1 in our game.
we mentioned it, but we didn't elaborate on it. We mentioned looking for a book. People are wondering what the book we were talking about was.
Yeah, none of you guys got me.
I know.
You guys got me up.
What a shame.
Did you find the book, Kenzo?
Yeah, I found the book right after I died. Yeah.
Oh,
That's a shame.
sad.
Oh, shucks.
So
It's called it's a book. It's called The Book of the Tech.
No, I can't believe that's the first way we describe it, huh? Oh my!
The first time it's
perfect.
ever been said.
The first time it's
pretty
ever been
perfect.
said, we call it the Book of the Tech. Great.
And when TechSmith dies, you find this magic book, and you can bring it to where TechSmith's body is, and you can read from the magic book, and TechSmith gets another chance at life.
Okay, all right. Technically, this works with anyone who's died. Okay, it just so
I haven't seen that. I haven't
happens.
seen
I know,
that.
we've
Yeah.
actually genuinely never tested it on anybody else.
Wow.
Because you only get one use of it in a match, and it's always tech.
Yeah. It's a book. It's called the Book of the Dead. Okay, it's not called the Book of the Tech. And
That sounds like a copyright from Evil Dead. I don't think we should use that. The Book of the Tech sounds better.
Okay,
probably.
sounds good.
The Techronomicon, is that better?
Okay, there we go. Yeah. Perfect. It's a book you can find.
There's one of them in each level.
Yeah, exactly. One of them
randomly
in each level,
located. Yeah,
and it has one use, and you can bring somebody who has completely died back to life with a small amount of health, so to come back.
Not
into
really
the fight.
back to life, but back to life.
That's true. Yeah. Back
to
Lifelike.
undead life. They're
Yeah.
a zombie when they come back. but
Yeah,
yes.
which is really cool. There's literally like
awesome.
your whole body turns into that of a zombie. The way you walk changes. Your skin textures change. It's all really, really cool.
You haven't even
when
seen the latest version, so you don't even know what it does.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
true. I haven't
Yeah.
even seen the newest one.
Because you wouldn't get Kenzo up.
Yeah. Well.
When you die, you go into the spectral form and you can fly around, and that's the easiest time to find the Book of the Dead. So if you're dead already, you can float around and spend the rest of the match searching for the Book of the Dead. And when you're in that spectral form and you have died, it emits a sound, so you can hear it when you get close to it.
Yeah. And people were probably wondering what that little naked baby was that you're flying
Exactly.
around as.
Yeah. Yeah. That's.
So we have a bunch of lore we came up with, and Zoe came up with all these creepy, weird things. She always says she doesn't like horror movies, but she comes up with the creepiest, weird stuff. So that little naked, infantile, like fetus baby flying around with the stringy hair, we call him Trailer, I think. He's got like videotape hair, and he flies around with his little naked bum, and he flies around creepy. He's a spectral, and spectrals you can buy different ones or unlock different ones, and they're custom your little version of each teen has their own they can unlock and get. And you fly around with a little helper who, when you're down on the ground, you can go and get, we call them orbs, but they're called essence, life essence. When you fly around the game, those little blue orbs that are flying around the level, you collect those and it pre-heals you. So when someone comes to get you off the ground, you can be ready to go up in one little heal bit. Or if you haven't collected any of those, you can they have to spend a little bit more time healing you. So that's like a fun way for you to explore the map, get yourself pre-healed, and when you're dead, you can still spawn that and go around and search for the book. You can look for the book anytime you want. You can just stumble onto there's a big locked box with the book in it. It's a pretty exciting moment early in a match when you're playing against a good monster and you find the book before you have to hunt for it later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you can't find the book, what do?
You tell
Heck.
everyone that it didn't spawn.
I think there's a bug in this game. It didn't spawn this time, and then you find the book.
Can't find it.
Number one feedback was given by TechSmith. I don't think the book spawned this time, guys. I think there's a bug.
Spawned, guys.
I just hear somewhere in the distance, found it.
I've literally looked everywhere. In the map, yeah.
I've gone around the map 1,000
You guys
times.
You guys have broken this one. It doesn't spawn. Yeah.
I'm writing the feedback right now. It didn't spawn this time.
And what sucks is if you die and you search the map for like 3 minutes and find the book, and then somebody else dies, they go, great. They go get the book, unlock the book, which is hard to do. It's 4 skill test challenges to get. Then they go get the other guy up, and then you're like still laying there on the ground crying and sad. You can still spectate and watch, but it's always sad when they don't use the book on you. Oh, there's a cat. Look at that, Vanguard. There's a cat in the shop. Sorry, I was distracted by the cat.
And I saw somebody ask if you can use voice chat when you're dead, and yeah, you can still voice chat. You can spectate the other players.
You can even ping your location. You can use your body as a marker in the map to watchtower to see, to check. But the one thing you can't do is when you're a spectral at any time in the game, you're flying around as that little naked baby or any other spectral, you can't see the monster. So it doesn't allow you to just fly around the map, find the monster, and follow him around and tell your teammates where he is. He can't see you, and you can't see him. And every time the monster gets hit by a weapon, I guess we haven't really talked about how the weapon system works, but the very first time the monster gets hit by one of the stigmas, one of the weapons, they go incorporeal. They become like a ghost. And when the minute they're a ghost, they can no longer hear or see the teens, and they can fly really fast, and they respawn and rematerialize in the level. Same thing happens when you're a spectral. You become you're in the beyond, which we call the beyond, the dimension that's creating this movie world. You're in the sort of essence of the movie world before it's formed, and you're this little ghost creature, and you fly around in that. You can't cheat in that mode. So you can still talk to your friends and say, hey guys, I found the book, it's over here, for like a couple minutes. And but you can still watch the teens run around if you're in a spectral mode, but you can't actually cheat and help them out at all, other than like, unless you're like in your body, which is just like this weird
you
dead
can act
corpse.
like a sentry.
If
you die in the courtyard,
basically.
you can see from your body at that point.
Yeah.
Just a dead body with the eyeballs looking around.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
Hey guys, I'm dead, but there's a monster right here.
Don't come to the courtyard. That's a good point. We didn't really discuss about the weapons and stigmas and stuff like that. Chris, you want to go into a little bit? Somebody also asked about what the giant blue sphere I was using that I rammed into Vanguard with.
You had the shock sphere?
Yeah, I had the shock sphere. So yeah, I think probably going into a little bit about the weapons and kind of what that's all about with the game.
There's 4 categories for the weapons. I'm gonna get the names completely wrong. Kenzo, help me out on this. There's
I'm gonna launch the game just to make sure we get this right.
Hey, there's an electric station, which I think we call shock. There's fire, which I think we call burn.
All right, we have burn, we have shock, we have purify, and we have curse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Purify
So
and curse. Yeah.
purify is our holy style weapons. Curse is our sort of evil magic, like supernatural weapons, occult weapons. Then fire and electricity those ones. Burn and shock are pretty much self-explanatory. So for each of those weapons, right now there's 3 different types of weapons you can build in each of those categories. So for your example, you were building an electric weapon, a shock weapon, and you built something called a shock sphere. That's not the very first. The weapons actually unlock as you play the game. So the very first one you get is a Zapper 2000, which is sort of a 1970s sort of like sci-fi zapper that you would see in an old school movie. And you've got this old school retro zapper that shoots got a counter on it, so you can actually count how many bullets you have to shoot with. And I think you need about 9 direct hits on the monster to kill it. So
9 hits to kill,
yeah. And you can throw weapons away at any time if you want. Like if you have 3 hits left on that, you can throw it away and build a new weapon. But you also can just keep it around, use the last shot, scare the monster. I actually did that in the map against Vanguard. I only had 4 shots left, and I just kept shooting a volley at him every once in a while to make him think I had more shots than that. And
It worked.
I know you did. You totally turned tail and ran.
off.
So you backed off. So I was like, if he only knew my count of
So I have no idea. I just have
the one the one you built was it's a we always call it the hamster ball. It's like a giant like like ball of electricity you build. It's actually an umbrella that you've home crafted stuff onto to make this weird shield. And when you engage the shield, you start moving at normal speed, and as you keep moving, you increase in speed as you go, and you're kind of totally protected. You only have a very short shelf life in that thing, like 30 seconds or something, and you
can't
are
hear.
completely deaf of the monster's foot. We used to allow you to hear the foot noises of the monster, but you can't hear anything. It's just completely, and it makes a ton of noise. So even if your teammates are saying he's over in the cafeteria, you have no idea because like all around you, like you can't hear anything. And if you have line of sight, it's great. But if they disappear into like a basement or into a corner or something like that, it really allows you to like, or it really allows a monster to like get away and have a chance to get away. It's not, but he can't howl like if he's the werewolf and knock you out of that thing. You're protected by the electricity, so that's a cool weapon.
I think Vanguard tried to howl me when I was in it. It looked like you did a howl when I was in there.
There was a couple, yeah. There's a couple of points where like I was like either howling right. I was when you guys were close to stations, just trying to see if I can get you through the walls.
Yeah.
And just kind of like weed you out across the corners. I did that when you were up in stage. You were hiding by the holy, and then I saw you like run through the door.
The best thing is the monsters. Yeah, when that electric ball is chasing you and then he takes off some other direction.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, like seeing, oh God, I'm alive still. Like it's weird seeing like you're a werewolf and you're hiding in a corner going, please don't hurt me, please don't hurt me. I'm a powerful monster, but not right now. Yeah. And then when it runs out right at the last second and you're chasing, like some chases are epically long and you're just going, please don't run out as you're chasing that monster. And you got that little burst. He uses his berserk and tries to run away from you. Like there's so many variant versions of all of this that that's why it's so different every time. It's just, yeah. And then the third weapon in the electric one, this is gonna take a while. Ken's, you're gonna have to tag you in on some of these things. The third electric weapon,
I can just show them.
We could go through a speed thing.
Sure, show us some stuff, Kyle. Don't break it. Don't leak anything.
Without leaking anything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna attempt.
If anything gets leaked, it's no longer my fault.
It's on your stream.
That's all I have
it's
to
on
be.
your stream.
It can't be my fault if it happens at this point.
How do we can't see yours? We can't. You'd have to watch his stream in order to see this deck. I don't know how that would. Otherwise, I can't see anything.
I think you.
Oh, there it came up. It came up. Yeah.
All right. Is it shown correctly?
No, on tech stream there's nothing, but on our Discord.
I think Tech has to view.
Yeah, Tech has to do it on his end.
Okay, here let me do this.
There's some technical errors here.
Boop. There we go. That's looking much better.
Oh. There. Oh my. Look at that.
There we go. See, isn't that nice?
All right. So we were talking about shock, the second weapon on the list. Thanks, Kyle. Now this is all. The other weapon in the shock category is a remote control helicopter you can fly around. And it has like a little like Tesla coil thing on the front that can shoot. It can fly for like a minute. It actually can fly a long time, but the minute you start shooting that weapon, it depletes the battery crazy fast. And you can go and shoot the monster, and the monster can just smack it out of the air and destroy it, which happens in tighter spaces all the time. In the open, the monsters hates it more than anything, but in the tight basement or something like that, they can really choose to like fight the helicopter. So yeah, those are the three electric ones.
About the frame rate. The frame rate is Discord, not the.
That's just the frame rate. The frame rate is Discord. You can see we're all good. The stream frame is totally good. It's just Discord. Discord doesn't like to stream.
Okay.
Pretty much.
So I guess we can talk about Kenzo. You can talk about one of the other categories.
You want to go into fire? I guess burn.
Burn.
Cool. We've got the flamethrower. The flamethrower has a slower start. It's kind of like our cross equivalent. So all of the weapons on the leftmost side are your starter weapons. They're the most intuitive weapons to use. They're just kind of like point and click weapons. And so that the flamethrower is the cross sort of analog, and it has a slower startup time than the cross, but it has a longer range. And it sort of has this sweeping fire effect. So yeah, that's basically a point and click. Catch the evil with the flame and then start it up. And then the one next to that got the firebomb. So this is like a Molotov cocktail. I think you saw. Did we use them in that match? I think.
Yeah, I got a kill. I got a kill with it.
Yeah, you threw one.
Yeah, that's why I don't remember, because we got it so early.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
the firebomb is a one-time use thing. So you build it, you have one shot, you throw it. This is why fire is hard to get a hit with, because everyone's just building Molotovs and chucking them
Yeah,
at the
and chucking
ceiling
them
all
up
the
into
time.
the dust.
Yeah. But it lands and then it spreads flames wherever it hits, and then it sort of falls down. And then the next one is the Sunstone. So the Sunstone is really interesting in that you get this ring that sort of spawns in this crystal, this sun crystal, and it's like an AOE effect. It's an area denial weapon. So you place this Sunstone down, and there's like this sphere that's created from that Sunstone, and
Like a
whenever the
turret.
evil,
Yeah.
yeah, whenever the whenever the monster is inside that radius, it notifies the user, and they can start firing the weapon, and it shoots a beam from the middle of that to the monster. So you place down like this area that's dangerous for the evil to walk through.
Yeah, I'll cover the purify ones, I guess.
Cool.
I think you saw some crosses in that game we played. The cross is, like I said, the first weapon we made, and it's kind of like a flashlight. You shoot the holy essence of power out of the cross. It makes a big sort of range that shoots out and hits the monster. You have to keep the monster inside that light for a few seconds to kill them or stun them. And second weapon is a slingshot that shoots little holy hand grenades. They sing when you shoot them, and they make a little when they hit things. And we've got for all of these ones, you can change the skins and the look and the feel of all of them. But you shoot these little grenades. It comes with 2 grenades because it's different than like whipping the Molotov. The Molotov hits the ground and spreads out all over the place and does a lot of damage. These ones do a much more focused pin attack, and hitting the monster directly is like a dead hit, but hitting around them, they have to be pretty cornered in or tight to where they are in order to get a hit on them. So it's a little bit more tricky, but with the 2 of them, it allows you the 2 shots at that to really get that. The third one is an interesting one. I think somebody was using this in the match.
I used it, yeah.
Yeah,
I used it.
it's an interesting weapon. If you just build it, it's a sacred staff. If you just build it, it starts just on its own charging up and filling up. But if somebody in the map is injured or you're injured, you have to heal that person to charge it up. So it does require healing normally, like it draws from the power of you healing somebody to charge it. And once it's charged, you can take that energy that you stored in the weapon and shoot it back at the monster, which is quite a powerful beam when you get it there. But it's a quicker weapon to build, but it requires a secondary effect or effort to charge it, which makes it more challenging.
Yeah.
Curse? Want to go for the curse one?
Yeah, so we got Cursed Sword. It's the first one up here. So this one is I think you guys probably saw it in the trailer and a few other things.
I actually used this
basically-
to. I actually got Van with this.
Got
Yeah.
the kill
Oh
with this.
yeah,
so-
you
so,
were
yeah.
you were cornering.
Yeah,
him.
exactly.
That was a
Just
perfect example
slowly
of how it
slicing
works.
in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rub it in
so-
the neck, that's fine.
So you slice to the air and it shoots a beam out from wherever you're aiming, and while the monster is standing inside that beam, it takes damage, right? So it's not like you hit him twice sort of thing. He has to stay inside the beam for a sustained amount of time. So it's a really good zoning tool, like you saw Tech using. He was cutting Vanguard off on the right side, then the left side, then the right side, then the left side. So Vanguard had less and less room to move around. The monster can push through it, but as they're pushing through, they're slowed and they take a little bit more damage. So you can kill the monster with 2 swings as long as they stand inside those 2 swings for a sustained amount of time, right? But yeah, so that's how that one works. Then we got the Enchanted Eye after that. So this is you summon this eye by reading off an ancient enchantment. And this portal opens and this eye comes through. Then you possess this eye and you can fly it around, and you get a hit with it by running into the evil. So your FOV changes, and you lose sound as well, so you can't hear anything. But you're flying around very, very quickly with a different FOV trying to run into the monster.
Yeah, I forgot to say earlier with the helicopter that when you were using the helicopter, your body stays in one location, and the helicopter flies away third person, and you're flying this helicopter around the map. But the monster can see you standing there using a remote control, and you have
Yep.
no idea if he's near your body, and just run up and smack you. And it's the worst feeling in the world when they pull you back to your body that way.
Yeah.
It's the best feeling if you're a monster and you see someone you have a chance to hit their body. And the same thing happens with the eye, that you're standing there. In that case, the helicopter has a remote control. It goes click, 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 whir, click. It makes some noises. But the scroll that he reads with the eyeball is like a loud Latin like spell you're reading out, and it leaves you very vulnerable. Yeah.
Then the final weapon is the Enigma. So this is like a little talisman that you hold, and it's similar to the Sacred Staff in that once you build it, it's not fully charged. It's not ready to use right away. You actually have to charge it, and it's charged based on the tension loop. So if you can hear the monster near you, then you can charge the talisman. You can charge the Enigma. So if you're crouching in a corner and you're hearing it, then you can charge it. But it makes you very vulnerable because you have to be near him in order to finish charging it.
The
So
fastest way to
that's
charge
really-
it is to stand directly across from him in a room and hold it up, and he actually gets a big outline around him while you're charging him. But if the monster ever sees you channeling that, and he can actually hear it or sees you doing that, he just feels like you're violating him and wants to kill you more than anyone in the map. So it's a risk reward. And I forgot to say with the
Absolutely.
shock sphere that you made, Tech, it's another one that builds really fast. The basic umbrella part of it, but you have to run around at 3 locations in the map and find an electrical station to charge it up. And if multiple people build them at the same time, those stations take a little time to come back to life after you've used the
Yeah.
power up from them. So you have to like make a path through the level. But the nice thing about those weapons are like the secondary charge weapons is they don't lock you to a station when the monster's hunting for you. So say it's down to electric and that's the last weapon the monster needs, you can go and build a shock sphere pretty quick, and then you can go around the map and charge it at different places where he's not looking for you all the time, which is which really is a nice place to be instead of being at a station and you can just hear the monster coming toward you. It gives you a little bit of safety, a little bit of distance. So that
Alright guys, that brings us to the end of the video. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys have any more questions, you can leave them down in the comments. I will try to answer the best I can, or I will find out the info if it's available to be put it out there. Also, there is a beta sign up going on right now. You can sign out. I'll put the link in the description where you can sign up for the beta if you are excited like I am for the beta. I hope I get access to the beta so I can bring you more info and more gameplay, and maybe I'll get to play as all the monsters. We'll see. Probably will play more on monsters. I will try the teens out, see what's like facing the monsters if I do get the chance. And if you guys did enjoy this info or this video, make sure you leave a like, and I will see you guys in the next VHS video. Peace.
Attention viewer, if you enjoyed that video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe.